Hey guys, welcome. In the last video we touched on if, else if and else statement, but then, like you must have noticed, there's a possibility that you can have so many else if statements and it's bad practice to have so much else if statements. So instead of that, we can use a switch statement. So a switch is a more efficient alternative to using many else if statements, and it allows a value to be tested for equality against many cases. So let's put this in action. Let's assume that we want to create a grade script or a grade program that prints out a message depending on your letter grade. So from school, you know, we have A, B, C, D, and F, which is failed, by the way. So let's get to it. So let's create a variable called grade, initialize it, then let's use a printf to collect the user input. So when the person inputs, we'll ask the person, please enter a letter grade, then it will tell you what your score is or what your grade is. Please enter a letter grade, and we will use a scanf to collect that. So scanf format specifier for a character is C, and what are we taking? We are taking grade using the memory address. Grade. This ampersand here stands for memory address. And now that we have our inputs, let's now test our cases using a switch. So this is how you write a switch statement. Since we are testing with grade, so we call grade in here, then open the bracket, then we start. First, we use cases, so we use case. The first case will be case A. So if the person enters A or he scores A, you use a colon, then what are we printing? We print out a message. Printf, wow, you scored an A. Then we break out of it. Okay, so you see it's easy. You can just copy it and start pasting so that you can, instead of typing it all. So we want to have A, B, sorry guys. Okay, so I'll make this B. Wow, you scored a B. Wow, you scored a C. I'm just going to make it generic, you know. C. I think we are going to F, so let me just copy these three at a time. Okay, A, B, C, D. What's the point in typing if we can copy, right? Let's just do that too. D, E. Just take note of the way it is arranged because it is important. F. And last but not the least, we need a default. So default, all these cases are like else if, else if, else if, else if, else if. Then the last one, which is a default, is the else. So we tell the person, please enter a valid grade letter. Okay guys, so let's run through it again. So what we did is we created a variable grade, and when we tell the user to please enter a letter grade, we collect the input using the scanf with the character specifier and the variable grade from the memory address. Then we now try to test it using the switch statement. So we are testing grade, the variable grade, and the first case is if the letter is A, it should print wow, you scored an A. If it's B, same thing, down to if you input F, wow, you scored an F. And if it is anything different from any of this character, it should output enter a valid grade. So let's put this to test. Let's run this, guys. So here it is. Please enter a grade, and I'm going to enter A. And you see, it says you scored an A. Let's run it again. But let me just put a semicolon here so that, yeah. So let's run this again. Please enter a letter grade, right? I'm going to enter D, this one, D. And as you can see, wow, you scored a letter D. What if I enter something that is not here? Let's run it. Maybe something like Z. And as you can see, it goes to the default and it says, enter a valid grade letter. Now, you may be wondering why we're using the break. There's only one way to know why, is by taking it out. So I'll take out all the break and you will see why we are using break in this statement. So delete break, delete break. I'm taking out all the break. So there's no more break. Now, let's rerun this script. Enter a letter grade. I'm going to enter C. Then you'll see what will happen. C. As you can see, all our grades after C have been printed out. Wow, you scored letter C. Wow, you scored letter D. You scored D. You see? So, what the break does is, once a case has been achieved, after the message or the statement has been done, break helps you break out of the switch. So if you don't have break, your script will keep running. So let me Ctrl Z to bring back our breaks. Save. And I'm going to run this again. So let's see the difference when we enter letter C without break and enter letter C with break. So C with break now. And as you can see, wow, you scored letter C. After it does the printf for this, it breaks out of the switch statement. So guys, that is it on switch statement. As you can see, switch is better than else if, because if it was an else if statement, you are going to be typing a lot of else if. So guys, that is it on this one. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Precious out.